testify. Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren served on the committee during Bill Clinton's impeachment, and she was a young staffer on the House Judiciary Committee during the Nixon impeachment proceedings. She is the only Democrat on that committee with more seniority is Chairman Nadler. Zoe Lofgren, it's an honor to have you with us tonight. And I have to say, I guess somewhere in the back of my head was that you were a staffer during Watergate, but I thought, no, it's impossible. She's too young. But I'm just gonna have to believe your resume. I'm going to accept that. Tell us what you felt today in this historic moment. Here you have John Dean. Once again, you were there when John Dean was testifying to Congress. Here he is again, testifying about the possible impeachment, certainly about the investigation of a president.
Well, it was incredible. He said the last time he had testified before the Judiciary Committee was July of 1974, and I was working for Don Edwards, a member of the committee at that time, and I remember I was there as well. It's good to remember how that proceeded in a way that was orderly, that met the standards of the Constitution, and in the end was bipartisan as really a template for people looking at a president as we are.
And I want to go back to that hearing that the moments you're talking about in 1974. And let's listen to M. Caldwell Butler, as you will recall, Republican from Virginia. He's one of the 7 Republicans who voted to impeach the president. Let's listen to what he said about what he called the frightening implications for what would happen if they did not vote to impeach the president. Let's listen to this.
There are frightening implications for the future of our country if we do not impeach the President of the United States, because we will, by this proceeding, establish as a matter of record a standard of conduct for the President of the United States which will be for all time a matter of public record. If we fail to impeach, we have condoned and left unpunished a course of conduct totally inconsistent with the reasonable expectations of the American people. We will have condoned and left unpunished a presidential course of conduct designed to interfere with and obstruct the very process which he has sworn to uphold.
Congresswoman, do those words apply today in this case?
Well, Caldwell Butler was a very courageous man and did the right thing. I'll say by the time he gave that statement, the committee had reviewed at some length the direct evidence that supported the articles of impeachment. As of this moment, the Judiciary Committee has not had access to a single piece of evidence. We have been denied the evidence until this afternoon, when the Justice Department finally indicated they would give us the underlying or some of the underlying documents for the Mueller report. I just texted the staff of the Judiciary Committee asking, can I go see that in the morning? So we are in need of reviewing not only the underlying evidence, but hearing from fact witnesses. Of course, the Judiciary Committee in '74 had done that by the time Mr. Butler made those courageous statements.
Is the clock running out on impeachment? Certainly it would take a minimum of, say, 10 months from today if there was the beginning of an impeachment inquiry by the House of Representatives. That would take you well into next year, election year, April, somewhere around that. That's if you started today. So the audience can do the math on every week or month of delay.
Well, I don't know that there is that specific time frame. We've had a fight to get the evidence. Fortunately, the courts have accelerated their schedule for hearing our case. The law is clear. In fact, many of the precedents stem from the Nixon era. And so we have had great success in getting documents. The Attorney General says we'll now get the evidence for the Mueller report. We will be proceeding tomorrow in terms of going to court to compel testimony from a fact witness, Mr. McGahn. There are other fact witnesses we hope to interview. Have to do that. And can't be short-circuited, but it can be done on a fast track.
Congresswoman, do you expect the committee, the chairman, to itemize publicly tomorrow what it is the Justice Department is handing over?
Well, I don't know what the chairman will do. I know he'll do the responsible thing. Is my understanding that even though the material is being kept away from us, unlike in the Nixon case or the Clinton case, where the evidence was brought to the House, we're going to have to traipse over to the Justice Department. It's going to make it more difficult to review it. But that we are not prevented from discussing the information broadly that we see. So I'm sure that Jerry will take steps to make sure that the public has an understanding of the breadth or narrowness of what's been provided.
Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren, the House of Representatives' highest authority on impeachment. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it.